Hey guys, and welcome back to finally another little or more or less little side project. And welcome to my first Intermin Blitz actually that I am ever building since the latest update or our first nice DLC that we've got in Planet Coaster 2. And I'm really happy to be finally able to go back into side projects here. You guys can see that I'm building in Realms of Discovery actually, but obviously this coaster will not be standing there. It's just a little blueprint project finally with the 8K piece limit, and I did a quite decent job, I think, with not building too many pieces this time and not using the 8K piece limit completely. So this, all I'm building here will be available in the Frontier Workshop, and it is already available in the Frontier Workshop. Make sure to check out the workshop code down in the description below in case you want to check it out, place it in your parks or whatever. So yeah, you guys probably heard of it already. We are right now hosting a new fun little contest, which is called the Realms of Discovery Coaster Building Contest, and that was pretty much what inspired me to build this whole coaster layout there. And I really wanted to implement myself somehow with the contest, because I saw all of your awesome creations. Thank you so much, by the way, to anyone who already participates and posts their stuff on the Discord server, makes updates on the Discord server. In case you did not check out the last contest that I did, make sure to check it out right now. We are still open till December, I think middle of December, so I think the 18th or something like that. So make sure to participate, and thank you so much to everyone who already is part of this awesome contest, and thank you so much for the really amazing feedback that I received on the contest, and it's so much fun so far. I'm really happy to host all of this stuff, and I'm so hyped you can't even imagine to finally check out your creations. We still have some time left, so as I said, in case you didn't hear about the new contest, make sure to check it out right now. If you want to participate, just make sure to join my Discord server, and all of the important information will be on the server there. Yeah, and as I say in every video, make also sure to like this video, which supports me really a lot. Make sure to comment down your suggestions below in the comment section. And also, in case you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot with keeping the motivation high. And I really love reading all of your comments, so thank you to everyone who already did this. So yeah, what are we going for in this park? You guys probably know or maybe do not know that I've been to Epic Universe this year. And actually, a funny thing that not many people of you know is that I've been to Epic Universe a second time. I think it's around 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've been to Orlando another time, which was absolutely awesome because I just missed Epic Universe a lot, and yeah, I really want to revisit it. And a first general idea, and that is obviously also the inspiration for the contest, was to build something kind of inspired to Stardust Racers, and that's what I'm doing here. I think a Intermediate Blitz really fits the theme perfectly, like the Mac launch coaster, that is Stardust Racers, of course, but an Intermediate Blitz is also a pretty amazing coaster to go for the celestial or astronomic theme here. You guys will see what I mean with that later on when we are building the theming and all of that stuff. I'm actually starting it right now, but especially a spike and all of that stuff, and the elements in general that a Intermediate Blitz is known for really fit the whole theme a lot, and they're just working together so perfectly. So in case Epic Universe or Universal is listening, make a Intermediate Blitz in your Celestial Park area, which would be an absolute blast, obviously, as well. So that's actually that thing that I wanted to go for here. You guys can see that I went for a pretty similar color to Stardust Racers because it's just fits there and it vibes a lot to the area. And we're actually doing green supports later on as well. We're obviously custom supporting the whole coaster. I think I did a quite decent job this time with custom supporting it. The layout that I did is not perfect, not at all. I'm not the best coaster builder, to be honest with you guys, but I think it's okay. It's at least kind of realistic. It's pretty short. The capacity is not perfect for Realms of Discovery, but you guys know it, the coaster will not be in Realms of Discovery anyway, so we don't have to worry a lot about capacity. I mean, the Dueling Stardust Racer coaster obviously has a way higher capacity and works way better for a, well, kind of capacity intensive park like Epic Universe there. But I'm really happy with the whole turnout. I think, as I said, the layout is a little bit short. If you want to say some negative things about that, but all in all, it's alright, and it's my first Intamin Blitz, so don't be too hard on me for that. As I said, in case you want to check it out, make sure to check out the workshop code down in the description below. So we are also doing a small tunnel there, or I already did it, or I already built the tunnel there. Because I wanted to build a kind of similar launch to Stardust Racers, especially what I'm doing here with the light strips there, which is pretty heavily Stardust Racer inspired. When you are on the coaster, you don't even see the lights while launching there. But I actually watched some POVs back and forth, and yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. We're also having our maintenance track inside the launch area there. There's a block section, so we can actually break our train in or on the switch track and then just switch the track to the right, if you know what I mean. And then we have a pretty cool transfer track to the maintenance area as well. I think it's actually the same for Stardust Racers. It works a similar way. They definitely have the maintenance bay there in the launch section, which is also the reason why the first launch part of Stardust Racers is a little bit slower than the second one, if I'm informed correctly. In case I'm not, just comment it down below. Maybe I'm talking bullshit there, but yeah, I think that's the reason for Stardust Racers there. What I'm doing here was, well, first idea was that I wanted to create a cool logo there, and it didn't really work out, but yeah, then I changed the whole thing again, and then it actually looked quite decent. This, yeah, well, kind of round shape that I'm doing right there also is heavily inspired of Stardust Racers as well. Also the colors I'm using there, but the colors are actually the Realms of Discovery colors. They're exactly the colors we're using for the entrance, so it fits perfectly to the whole theme, and really, well, it's just harmony going on there with the coaster. And then another funny thing I noticed was that it would be pretty cool if the coaster is driving through the logo, and that's exactly what I'm doing right here. So that was actually a pretty cool idea. I think that's kind of the photo point if you want to make a photo in the park. If you're standing there, you would probably take a photo there, and I think that works pretty well. I think it's kind of a cool lookout point just to watch the coaster go and take pictures of the whole coaster, which is also a pretty important part of, well, theme park design, obviously, as well. So yeah, that's the logo we are doing right here. We have, if we are talking about the layout, we have a little pre-launch section, which is kind of similar to Tatis, actually. So we are having a small pre-launch, which is not super fast. We're going into a overbanked right turn there. Then just, I think, a little airtime hill, a pretty small airtime hill after that, and then we are going, well, all our way down to the launch section. It's a negative banked airtime hill there, into a kind of helix, and then into the switch tracks section, into our first launch, which is around, I think, 96 kilometers per hour. or I think it's, oh, I don't know how many miles this is, but I think around 60 or something like that. So what I'm doing here is just copying the Tutatis spike supports there, which I actually turned out pretty well, I think. That really worked, and it looks quite decent, especially this whole spike there. Also is a pretty cool point to look at if you come into the park. I will show you guys all of that into later on in the real-time section, of course, obviously. But I think that's also a pretty cool part of the coaster. After we switch track, we are going to our first launch. As I said, we are going into a top hat, which is, I think, 45 meters high or something like that. Then back into the spike again, and then just we're launching over a small bunny hop there into our top hat, going down again. And then the coaster just makes it back and forth for layout. What I wanted to do with the layout was some kind of back and forth layout, because I wanted to just orientate myself to the contest limitations that we have for our contest. In case you have missed this, guys, by the way, I kind of lifted the limitations for the contest on the Discord server. There you will find more information on that. But there's also a park file for Realms of Discovery, just with a box where you can orientate yourself while building the coaster. But I want to make it clear that there are no limitations for the coaster. I mean, it should be realistic, obviously. It should kind of fit to the budget, but we are really high budget for this park, so but don't worry about that too much. So that will be fine, but I wanted to orientate myself for with the whole size of the contest area there. I think I actually did not do a great job with coming close to the barriers right there, so we have a pretty big open space actually where nothing really is happening, but as I said earlier, it's not mattering too much because we are anyway not using the coaster for the park, because as I said, the coaster that will stand on the area right here where our coaster, which I don't want to tell the name yet, is standing right now. There will be our contest winner that I will integrate into the park later on. So yeah, by the way, if we were talking about the contest, some of you guys also asked how the voting works for this whole contest, and it will be a community voting, so you guys can vote on your favorite creations. I'm not completely sure how exactly it will work, but you guys will know it definitely on time on the Discord server. And the best creation, so the creation winner, will be featured in Realms of Discovery. I will integrate the coaster into the park. And we will also make some videos on all of your awesome creations. Let's just hope that we will not have 300 submissions, just that, because that would be a lot of work actually. I mean, if we are reaching the 300 submissions, I will make 300 videos, but it will be a lot of work. You guys will see a lot of videos just for the contest as well. But we will definitely have a few winners, or at least one winner that will go into Realms of Discovery and be a permanent part of the park. I'm super excited about that, by the way. So yeah, what you can see right here is that I'm building some custom supports. Actually, the Intamin supports just go into the tracks there. They don't have some connectors that are buildable in Planet Coaster pretty good without using a lot of pieces, because I really needed to keep the pieces low on this coaster, so don't judge me on my supports or anything, because as I said, I couldn't make it too detailed because the whole blueprint right now is around 7,950 pieces or something like that, so we have 50 pieces left, and it really was a perfect hit there on the piece limit with 8k pieces. It just worked out, and I actually struggled when I almost finished the coaster with the piece limit, so I really had to kind of not use too many pieces for our queue line, but yeah, it just worked out. You guys will see later on. So yeah, another thing we need to talk about obviously is the station building that I'm building right there, because this one is absolutely massive. I think it's the biggest station I built so far. If we're talking about Planet Coaster 2 and Planet Coaster 1 actually, I think I didn't build a really huge station building. It's definitely not the biggest that you guys have ever seen, but for myself this whole station actually is really big, and that just makes sense to build a big station in this park because we will have to fit a long queue in there, and I think I did a pretty decent job with that. The queue line is absolutely long actually. We're also having a fast pass queue line later on because it's just also realistic for Realms of Discovery. We will have an express pass. We just would be pretty stupid if we wouldn't have one. And yeah, the whole style I wanted to go for the station building was just kind of using the standard entrance buildings that we have been using in the past for Realms of Discoveries, but kind of add a little bit of special touch to it, and I think that worked out pretty well. It really fits the whole vibe of the entrance area and the main hub area there. Yeah, and it would actually also fit into Epic Universe, I think. The whole station building is not super detailed as well, as you guys can see. It, as I said earlier, I needed to not use too many pieces just to not go completely crazy on the piece count. It's not super detailed, but I think this whole station building actually turned out pretty decent, and it looks really cool, especially at night. Not yet, there's a lot to come actually for nighttime lighting. I just wanted to test something with the colors there. But as I said, your buildings don't need to be super detailed to just fit into a theme. They're also working out if they're just, well, a standard level of detail. I think the whole structure is actually pretty simple. You guys could probably also do that pretty easily. We're also building a small exit sign there just for realism, a small exit area there, which is actually fake because it's not a real exit. Also because of the piece limits, Planet Coaster Frontier, if you're hearing this, maybe can we please get a higher piece limit? I mean 8K is pretty good if we compare it to Planet Coaster 1, but it's just still not enough to go completely crazy on blueprints, and I'm just struggling because I'm a PC player and I'm using a lot of pieces there, and I'm just not good at well, using not many pieces. Yeah, so what I'm building right here is the maintenance area, where our technicians can work on the coaster trains, where we can park our trains if we are having a day where not that many guests are in the park as well. I'm also extending the well, switch track there, so it just would be realistic that we can switch it completely to the right. If I'm watching it right now, I'm actually not sure if the whole switch track thing there is long enough. I think it's probably not, but it just is the best solution, and I think for a transfer track, just using the switch track there, and it would also make sense if we think about costs and money there, because it's probably not that expensive to just extend the whole switch track. Well, it would be definitely more expensive if you were building 2 switch tracks or something like that. I'm also using these pretty cool, well, electricity things. I don't know how they're called actually, but you will find the workshop link in the description down below. I think it's the only workshop item that I use in this project at least. But they just add a lot to realism there. And oh, now we're going for the queue, I think. Or are we actually? Yeah, we're going for the queue, which will be super interesting. The queue is long, just to make it clear. It's really long. We will have a security checkpoint. We will not have any lockers. I actually wanted to build some 2-sided lockers, but also the piece limit just limited me with building a two-sided locker thing for realism, so our guests would just have to teleport their stuff that they are carrying with them in the pockets to the outside world or something, somewhere other. But I think, well, for a blueprint, it's fair enough. If we would be building this not, explicitly as a blueprint, we could definitely have built a two-sided locker area or something like that. But yeah, as I said earlier, I really needed to, well, get the piece limit working there. Also, this fence that I'm building right here is not super effective if you're thinking about piece limit, but it's actually just working out. I mean, if we think about reducing our pieces, it would have probably been the fence there, because the fence really is a lot of pieces. But I just thought I really wanted to have a custom fence, which is like that one. It's pretty simple, but it just adds so much to the whole queue line area there, and I think it looks so much better using the custom fence there, if we compare it to the Planet Coaster fences that we've got, which are absolutely amazing. But don't get me wrong, it's just nice and refreshing to see some different fences, to see people building their own fences, because with the scaling method we are absolutely capable of going crazy with custom fences there, and people really are doing that. And I also love to build these, if you watch the Realms of Discovery videos in the past, because custom fences just look absolutely amazing. So you guys can see that we are building a staircase down there. Also, I need to apologize because I did not make the blueprint well accessible for everyone, actually, because I built some stairs there, and I'm shame on me for that, actually, because I really wanted to make it, but at one point, I need to be honest with you guys, I just was happy to finish the project, and then I had 7,950 pieces, and I just didn't want to add a elevator or something like that, and which is actually pretty sad. And I will definitely add elevators in Realms of Discovery. Also did in the past, if you watch the videos, but we will not have one for this blueprint here, so sorry about that, by the way. Talking about the queue line, this is actually the first time I'm building a real fast pass queue. Not all of the rides in Realms of Discovery will have a fast pass. If you think about our Toads Rally Racers ride, for example, this ride could realistically have no fast pass because of the pretty low capacity. If we, for example, think about Battle at Ministry or Minecart Madness in Epic Universe, I think you can use the fast pass there, but if you get a fast pass due to a ride breakdown or extended wait times or whatever, which we actually did, you can't use the fast passes, the single fast passes for these two rides, which makes sense because they are really bad on capacity and they would just go absolutely crazy if they would have fast passes activated there, because just, well, you guys know it from real parks, fast passes just suck for the normal guests. You really need to stand or wait way longer if they are just, well, getting a lot of fast pass users through the queue line and into the ride. We actually had this for a few rides in Epic Universe because we were 2 days there. We had one day, which was a Sunday, which was pretty empty actually, and on the second day it was absolutely full, and we didn't ride a lot on the second day because waiting times just went absolutely crazy. But, well, it was a little bit hard for me because I was there on opening day, and if you guys are a little bit into the coaster community, you guys probably know that there were no queues at all on the opening day on 22nd of May this year in Epic Universe. And actually the second day that we got was really full, but we still enjoyed it. The park is awesome, as you guys know. It's my favorite park of all time. that I visited in the past, and it's just something special for me personally to have visited Epic Universe and to have been there on the opening day, which was a super special day that I will probably never forget, which was actually the whole reason I was there in May this year. And it was just epic. It was just epic to describe the park. And the opening day was super special. Talking about theme parks, talking about realistic theme parks, actually I was at Disney Studios and Disney's Magic Kingdom in Orlando the first time this time. I actually didn't have the time to visit Disney and also didn't have the money to visit Disney as well when I was there in May, but we actually were there this time. Because actually tickets were not too expensive. I mean, they're still super expensive if you think about it, but if we compare it to our European parks, they're a little bit expensive, but you really get a lot for the money you pay. And just for us in Europe, there are no comparable parks. I mean, many people say that Europa Park or Phantasialand is kind of comparable to the American parks, but I just say no, they're not, and they're still super special. They are great parks, but they're definitely not comparable to the American parks in Orlando. And actually Disney Studios was also awesome. I really enjoyed the whole Star Wars area, which was absolutely amazing. It was mind-blowing. I really think that it can compete with Epic Universe, even though that it's a little bit older. But the whole Star Wars area was just so immersive, just seeing the actors walking through the whole area there. Rise of Resistance definitely is my #1 dark ride now. I actually also find it better than Battle at Ministry. Because some of the people say that Battle at Ministry is better than Rise of the Resistance, I don't think that it's better, because Battle at Ministry, well, it's Universal, is using a lot of screens, but Rise of Resistance is actually not using too many screens, or without spoiling anybody, they're not using some big screens that you're looking at directly. Battle Ministry just uses combinations of screens, and you're actually having some scenes where you're pretty close to the screens, and that's just why I'm liking Rise of Resistance better than Battle at Ministry. Also, actually, the Millennium Falcon ride was absolutely amazing. I think the ride is really underrated. It has some low waiting times throughout the whole day, and it's just an amazing ride. I think we did it around 4 times or something like that. This ride also features, well, it basically is a screen, the whole ride, but I think that works way better, and I think it's just perfect. It's a perfect addition to the whole area there in Disney Studios, and Disney Studios just was absolutely amazing. For Magic Kingdom, I mean, it's completely different to studios or to the Universal parks, and it's so big, you really can't imagine how big this park is if you've never been there. And I actually had bad luck and got a bit sick in Florida weather conditions, and that's why I couldn't enjoy the day at Magic Kingdom, well, completely, but it was still an awesome day, and it's just an amazing parks with some completely different rides, and also enjoyed the day pretty much. So yeah, that was my little excursion to the latest trips, or to my latest trip to Orlando again. I will probably be there next year again, or in 2 years again. It's just sad when you come back. The nice weather and all the incredible adventures that are just going on there. It's just sad to be back, but it's also nice to be back at Planet Coaster as well, and it's just nice to come back with a lot of inspiration out of the parks. I also took some pictures of some areas that I was really inspired of, and it's just kind of different to walk through these parks with having in mind that you're building a Epic Universe inspired park in your Planet Coaster well file there, or Planet Coaster game, and it's just, you're just walking through the park and thinking like, oh my god, I want to build this, or that one inspires me to build another coaster, or whatever. Well, that's actually the whole thing. I am not sure if this whole blueprint would have happened if I wasn't at the Epic Universe park again. But, well, that's just a nice thing to get some real inspiration from, and I'm really, really happy that we're building a similar coaster to Stardust Racers, which is funnily, and well, you guys can laugh at me, but it's funnily my #1 coaster of all time. I even like it better than Velocicoaster. I like it better than Voltron, which is not as good as it was when it opened, which is actually a little bit frustrating. And yeah, I even think that it's a little bit better than Hagrid's. I just like this coaster. I think the coaster is just a perfect hit on my coaster itch there, and I really, really enjoy the whole ride. I mean, some people say it's a little bit rough, but I really don't think so, actually. I mean, I can understand why people are saying that, but it's not uncomfortable, something like that. I really like the dueling aspect of the coaster, and it's just a perfect coaster there. Yeah, so what am I planning for the next few months, actually, which is also a pretty important thing, because we are having a contest right now, so you guys will probably know that the channel will kind of focus on our contest submissions in the next 2 months, which will be a big part of my uploads in the next time, obviously. But I'm also, well, continuing on Realms of Discovery, by the way. We're definitely focusing on the Super Mario world there. We're also building the Luigi's Mansion world that will be featured in the next episode, probably. We're also doing a dark ride there. But, well, we should keep it all family friendly, which was kind of a thing that I wanted to do. I just wanted to work with restrictions for the park, and I just said, or just we were just starting a little bit softly with restrictions, saying that we're having this big Nintendo IP in our park, and Nintendo maybe, well, gives us the, well, says that we cannot build some big massive thrill rides for the area just to make it all family friendly, which makes total sense. That is actually a thing that Jackson Creed, who is a channel supporter, by the way, as well, in case you want to support me a little bit extra, it's just 1.99 euros per month, and he just suggested to work a little bit, if we're going for a piece, obviously, with restrictions, which is super interesting. I think we are doing that, and we're getting a little bit more, or more restrictive restrictions actually in the future. We'll definitely work with that in our next IP, which I've actually planned out pretty well already. We are, well, I'm giving you guys a small spoiler. We are going back in time, actually, for our next area, which will be a blast. I think that will be amazing. I think nobody did it ever before, and it's inspired of a TV series as well. But you will definitely see that in the near future. We are also doing a non-existent IP for our next area, because I just wanted to create my own IP. I love, well, doing these fictional stuff, and yeah, think about a fictional IP, which will be a blast. I'm really, really hyped to build this and start this whole project there. And also, if you're building the same area for a long time, you're also really, really excited to build a new area finally. So you will see that in the near future, probably, because the Super Mario world is not a huge area, and it will not take that long to complete the area, I think. I'm not completely sure what I'm doing with the Luigi's Mansion theme there, and I really want to keep it immersive for our guests, but you will definitely see what I come up with in the next episode as well. Also, another thing that I've been working on is Windfells, which a lot of you guys are missing in the last few weeks and months, because it's, I don't know how far the last episode has gone, but we haven't uploaded or worked on Windfells for a long time actually, and I'm really missing this part as well as you guys are doing that. Windfells will come back pretty soon. I will promise you guys it will come back this year. It will maybe come back in 2 weeks, maybe in 3 weeks, maybe in a month, but we will definitely have another episode of Windfells, because I'm making some good progress and there's not too much to go for now. So I'm almost done with our next episode, and you guys will see what that will be pretty soon. So that's probably a thing that you guys, or many of you guys, are pretty happy with, because you guys like Windfells, and I know that. And I'm really hyped to get my hands back on this German park project that we're doing right there. But I'm also super excited to continue this park, and especially to integrate the contest winner then in a few months into this whole park, which will be an absolute blast. By the way, the winner also receives a €20 Steam gift card. By the way, if you haven't participated yet in the contest, make sure to watch the contest video and participate in the contest. So guys, we are actually nearing the end of our Speedbuild part. If you're still watching here, maybe write it down in the comment section below. Thank you for sticking around for such a long time. If you have skipped to the real-time part, don't worry, and you're hearing it right now. I'm also sometimes doing that. But we will check out the coaster as well in the real-time section. This is actually, I think, my longest video that I've done yet, but it actually took a lot of time to build this whole coaster, so that absolutely makes sense that the video is a little bit longer. As I said earlier, thanks for sticking around. If you're still listening, we will check the coaster out in the real-time part. We will have some cinematic shots. We'll have a POV, as you guys know from recent videos, so you will see anything in a few seconds. As I said earlier, also, in case you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video, give it a comment, or maybe use the hype function that is new to YouTube, just to make sure to support this work, because it's actually a lot of work. And thank you to everyone who is active on the Discord server, who likes the videos, who comments on a regular basis. I know my people, and it's so amazing. But we still have, or we only have 7 seconds left, so thank you guys for watching so far, and we will jump in the real-time part. Welcome back, and welcome to the real-time part this time, and welcome to our real-time part of Hyperwave. So if you watched until the end and are still sticking around for this XXL speed build, thank you so much, first of all. And now it's time to check the coaster out in real time. We'll just be waiting for our coaster train to, arrive in the spike there. And there it is. It looks absolutely amazing. It's so cool to finally have the ability to build these swing launches there. And just, I don't have to say that to you guys. The Intermediate Blitz is absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's actually how the whole coaster should be placed here. We are using a bit of terrain painting there. It looks a little bit better if you just paint it a little bit with these brownish color compared to if you're using the standard grass. But really this whole area looks quite cool, I think. And obviously we are in Realms of Discovery here, so don't mind that. It's just an example for how to place this whole blueprint there. Hyperwave will not be part of Realms of Discovery. The coaster that wins our coaster building contest right now will be standing here later on. But all in all, I really think that the placement of the coaster here works pretty well. Probably the whole blueprint would work pretty well in your parks as well. And there's another train going down the launch. up the top hat and then back into the swing launch. So this is our entrance area. We have standby riders, Realms Express, and a exit line. We don't have any lockers, as I said earlier, just because of the piece limit. Because lockers usually take a lot of pieces. And let's just go into our standby riders queue, which goes all the way up here, then around the whole entrance portal there, and then back to this little garden area, or whatever you want to call it. I think it works pretty well. We don't have a lot of, well, loads of shadow there, so, well, maybe it's a little bit hot there, but it's not the biggest part. Probably this whole part of the queue line wouldn't be well used all of the time, especially if we're not having a park that is completely packed, actually. And then we are going all the way back down again, through this little well, bridge, or whatever you want to call that. To the right is our fast pass line, by the way. And then all the way back there, and you guys can see that we are also using some kind of coaster interaction in the queue line, which is super important, which, well, at least makes waiting times seem a little bit lower than they actually are. And our guests standing in line here can actually watch the coaster go through the layout, even though most of the layout is actually hidden behind the station. So right here we are going up there, and there are Jan's security scanners. Workshop link for these are for sure in the description down below, so make sure to check them out. They're working out pretty well here. Just to make sure that our guests don't have any belongings in the park, or not in the park, in the coaster while riding it, because we don't have any safety nets, even though the layout is mostly not over any queues or all of that stuff. Then all the way back down there, the whole area here is not pretty much themed. There's not too much to look at. The queue is not super interactive, but that was like pretty intentional, actually, because I wanted to do something like Stardust Racers. If we go back here, we have a little operator's booth with my standard sign that I'm using all the time for my coasters. And this right here is the coaster station, actually. That looks pretty cool, I think. So here the people will go into the first launch. You will see the POVs, obviously, shortly, as well as some cinematics. And let's just wait for the dispatch there. Let's just wait until... Oh, there it is. There it goes. Back down and then into our first pre-launch section, into a little bit of a bank turn, then back down again, but you will see that in the POV. I also have a lot of open space, actually, to this side of the coaster. Didn't really know what to do with it. Afterwards, I'm actually not super sad that I didn't know what to do with it, because it's a good way to save some pieces there. And there's our offloading station, which goes back to the park, actually. Can I just walk past here? Yeah, I can. So this is the offloading station. Pretty simple as well. We'll go all the way down there, and then down another stairs, and then we're just back again in Realms of Discovery, which is pretty cool, I think. Also, let's just quickly check out the Realms Express line, which is not super special, pretty much the same as you guys saw it in the Standby Riders line, but it's just a shortcut, actually. It's not as long as the normal queue line. I also probably need to place another metal detector around here to make sure that our FastPass guests are also scanned for electronic devices. There it goes again. But yeah, I just forgot that, actually. It was intentional that these areas here are directly next to each other, so I can just put another metal detector here, but I just forgot to do it. And that's our FastPass line. And I'm actually really happy with the whole turnout of that one. Let's make sure we'll also checking it out at night, because of course it has some nighttime lighting, and it looks absolutely gorgeous at night with the Planet Coaster 2 lighting. We are using, and this is actually one of my most favorite pieces that we've got in the sorcery pack, these round light bulbs, which are absolutely amazing. Yeah, you can really use them for a lot of stuff, actually. And this is the color tone for our lighting with this little, well, kind of orange lighting there, and it goes all the way back there. So that's basically it. I also made sure that most of our queue is lit up correctly, so our guests can see. Yeah, here is a little bit dark actually. We have some lights in there and some lights up there as well. Well, the station is a little bit dark, but I think it works out just fine enough. And well, that's it. I think it's definitely the biggest blueprint that I did so far. I didn't do a ton of blueprints yet because I'm just struggling with the piece limit, as everyone does actually. But it's not a small coaster at all. It's not a big coaster at all. It's just perfectly in the middle somewhere, I think. But yeah, if you're building these huge coaster layouts for blueprints, you need a lot of custom supports, and that takes a lot of pieces actually, which makes it hard to build them into a blueprint. Another thing that I said earlier was that the layout is not perfect. I think that we should have somehow gone well here for a layout, but as I said, this coaster is not thought of being part in this park, so I think that works just fine enough for a blueprint. And yeah, the workshop link or workshop code for this whole blueprint is in the description down below. If you want to check it out, make sure to download it and check it out by yourself. Make sure to like this blueprint on the front of your workshop as well. Some of you already did that. And let me know what you think. I'm really excited to hear what you think of this blueprint, of this little side project, or well, at least my contest submission that I'm not submitting actually, but yeah, let me know what you think about this. Have fun with this blueprint, and you guys will see the POV and some cinematic shots after that. So far, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to like this video and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.